ready, I think today, or was he?
He did all the pre-practice lifting, light jogging, and shooting, but he did not practice.
Will he travel with you guys?
I do not know that. I haven't even asked that yet.
What did you see on the film?
You know, I thought that, like I said last night, I thought their force, we didn't meet their force defensively, and we generated some really good looks for ourselves. Could have done so with better tempo with all 5 guys. I thought that there were moments where, you know, we had 2, 3, 4 guys really playing at a great level and maybe 1 or 2 not. And, you know, that's all it takes. And so both ends of the court, we just need to be cleaner, better, and in full.
Do you feel like guys were pressing a little when shots weren't falling?
I think that's what happens sometimes when your shots aren't falling, but usually it's because you're getting outplayed. And that's often what kind of leads to that. You find yourself in that situation, which makes every shot feel a little bit more. And so, you know, so that was, I think that had a lot to do with it.
Isn't the corollary to that then?
What's that?
Isn't the corollary to that then if that's happening, guys have got to make sure that they're intense enough at the other end to make up for it?
We have to be a lot better than we've been. I mean, it's not, you know, it has not been a secret for a month, right? So we all know that.
Al said yesterday he didn't feel like you guys are on a string defensively, maybe like you were as often last year. Is that something that just takes time at the start of the year, or is it something you're seeing that's a little bit different with new personnel?
Well, I think that, first of all, you know, we're defending relative to the league at a pretty good level right now, but we can get a lot better. And then offensively, you know, we're just not playing on one page. Like it's really just not as good as it needs to be. And so, you know, we'll have to spend time on both. When we emphasize one thing, we can't drop in another. I think that's a major challenge. But I think obviously we got to improve both.
Bob Cousy, is there a chance to speak to him or spending time with him?
Yeah. So obviously Gary Pomerantz just wrote a book, The Last Pass. I've read it. It's really good. And you know, for a basketball history buff, that is a must-read in my eyes. And it goes, you know, and I thought, and he and Cousy came today, and Bob spoke to the team a little bit in our video room. And it was the first time a lot of these guys have gotten a chance, maybe all of these guys have gotten a chance to sit down with him. You know, what he shared was great, and you know, just appreciative of him to take that time. I've said this many times before. You know, it's one thing to have all those banners hanging above you, but when those guys come in and they're at a game or at a practice or whatever, you just kind of say, man, you know, in a lot of ways we have a lot of responsibility for the uniforms.
What was his kind of message to the team?
Same stuff that you would guess. I'll keep it at that. But he talked about you know, the legacy of being a Celtic, how important it is to do things the right way, the mindset you need to be great, all those things.
A little bit before about, you know, the difference between having all the options that you have with everybody healthy this year, but the flip side is, you know, last year in the playoffs, everybody knew when they were coming in, what they were doing. How much does that play into kind of working this stuff out at the beginning, and how much of a challenge is that to you to say to them, you know, we may not get to the point where you're going to be coming in at a certain time, going out at a certain time all the time?
You know, I think that there's no question that those are things that are real. But until we really play well, we can't answer the question, you know, because, you know, I don't think that we've really played well. And so once we really play well and people are having to, you know, deal with that, then that's really, you know, just an increased layer of difficulty, but reality. You know, a lot of our guys know that it may not be their night one night, and the next night they may finish the game and play 30 minutes. Just the reality of our team. And until we're playing really well, we got to figure out who that is. You know, and I think that that's another reality of our team.
Is that an obstacle to playing well, that you guys don't, you know?
You know, it's the old question about, like, you know, what's your role? And your role is what you do well on both ends of the ball. You know, how many minutes you get is what you get, and it's about how you play when you get those minutes. And that's hard. I mean, it's, you know, having been a guy at a very low level that played a lot and then sat the bench a lot, it's really hard. And so, you know, empathetic towards that for sure. But it is reality that we can only play 5 at a time, and we just have to find groups that play well together.
The narrative that you are the favorite and you have a target on your back. Talk about that.
Yeah, I mean, I think that's all talk, you know. I think from a coaching standpoint, the longer you're in it, I'd say it's just noise, right? But there's probably a reality that that comes with increased responsibility. And you know, the thing I said at the beginning of the year that I believe, and I'm glad, is that these guys are the one that built these expectations. It wasn't anybody else, and so you know, it's good to get a chance to live up to those. Thanks.
Thank you.